right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live for another predictions video on the channel. This is the final one this season. No more predictions videos going forward because it is the season finale 500 at the Phoenix Raceway, the Championship 4 race for the NASCAR Cup Series. 4 drivers will go in with a shot at the title today, and only one will take home the crown. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and Chase Elliott will be the 4 drivers racing for the championship, and it's simple. Whoever's the highest finisher of those 4 will be the champion. All your predictions for not only the championship, but other fantasy analysis and how other drivers will perform today coming up right here on the channel. So like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We'll be doing this again next year along with the full, or I should say, well, yeah, the full race live streams with the commentary races for real life, obviously the predictions, the post-race analysis videos, and much more. Race highlight videos from the grandstands. All that will continue. NASCAR video game live streams with live commentary. So this is it. Again, final race of the season. I want to see down below your guys' predictions, both in the comment section after the video and the chat as well, who you think is going to get it done. I've been pretty blunt with my answers so far in the last couple of days as far as saying that my prediction to win the championship in the race is Kyle Larson. As far as that goes, I think it's simple for me to be able to pick Kyle Larson. They've been the fastest team year-round. It doesn't matter really what track they go to. I'd say Martin Truex Jr. and the 19 team has the 5 beat on the 750 tracks, except for in the playoffs. Martin Truex Jr. has 1 win on a 750 track in the playoffs. Kyle Larson has 3 wins on 750 tracks in the playoffs, 2 of which road courses. 1 of which road course, and then an oval for 1 at Bristol as well. But it's been kind of like that all season long. I mean, Kyle Larson does only have 2 wins versus Martin Truex Jr. on the 750 tracks. I just feel that the overall race team is better surrounding the 5. I think he may have a better crew chief driver combination. I know James Small's pretty good combo with Martin Truex Jr., but I feel like Martin Truex Jr. kind of carries most of the weight when it comes to that 19 team. The pit crew seems to be a little bit better on the 5 car, I'd say, too. Honestly, really the only mistakes they've made on pit road this year have been Larson with pit road speeding penalties. So obviously you're going to have to look out for that today. There was practice and qualifying, so I think that will help Larson leading for this race this weekend. Obviously, he qualified on the pole as well with a blistering speed. He did it on his first lap of qualifying. Very great there as well. Inside your Cole Motorsports, welcome to the stream as well. First guys into the chat. Please tell the fantasy lineup. I will not go through the entire fantasy lineup. I am in the process of setting it while on this live stream. So if you see me looking away from the camera, specifically this way, it is because I am looking at my fantasy lineup, trying to get that set up. So as far as the other drivers in the championship 4, Denny Hamlin, I think, is going to have a great day. I think he is the next closest competitor today due to his recent stats at Phoenix, as well as the fact that he is on consistency been right there with Kyle Larson. If not on consistency, a step ahead. Remember, Denny Hamlin has the best average finish of any driver in the Cup Series this season. Only guy that's really close behind him is Kyle Larson. It's those two and then a big gap before the rest of the field. As far as Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott goes, yes, they have won at Phoenix in the last calendar year. Chase Elliott won the fall race there last year to win the championship, and Martin Truex Jr. this year won at Phoenix in the spring. But if you go beyond those 2 races, there's no consistency for either one of those 2 drivers at this racetrack. And I'd say even worse so for Martin Truex Jr. The only saving grace for Martin Truex Jr., again, is the fact that with this package, he has won 4 races this season. I think that is the big difference maker and why the 19 can be a threat. But I'd say that as far as like starts for your fantasy team, it might be a little bit risky to take those 2. Remember, as far as the fantasy league is considered today, for those of you playing for the playoff championship, remember that the championship 4 drivers do not get stage points in this race. So if you have a driver that is in the championship 4 on your fantasy lineup, they will not get stage points even if they're in the top 10. So maybe look for some drivers outside of those 4 to put in your lineup, and that is where we'll get into these bold predictions for today's race. Here are 3 drivers you should not have in your fantasy lineups today, and the reasons why. We'll start off with the 48, the winner last week at Martinsville, Alex Bowman. I know he's got 3 wins on 750 horsepower tracks this season. Again, 1 coming last week, had a very strong car, but his statistical success at Phoenix is not good at all. The only saving grace was actually his first start in the 88 car back in 2016 when he filled in for the injured Dale Earnhardt Jr., where he ended up leading over 100 laps in that race and actually went on to finish in sixth. He shocked the world that day. That's what eventually put him in the 88 car and kept him now with Hendrick Motorsports over the last 4 seasons. But his last 7 races since moving into the Cup Series in 2018 for full time, at least for Hendrick Motorsports, he has not finished better than 13th place at Phoenix. It's been pretty bad with him not being one of the Championship 4 drivers, and there are 2 Hendrick cars in the Championship 4. A lot of the effort and energy into that into the Hendrick Motorsports crew this week had to have been going to the 5 and the 9. The 24, the 48 is going to be looked at afterthoughts. Byron does have better success statistically at Phoenix, so I didn't throw Byron into the don't have list, but all that really piles on top of the 48 of Alex Bowman. Again, no finish is better than 13th in the last 7, so I don't see that being a very, very good, wise stat to want to have Alex Bowman in your fantasy lineup. So definitely stay away from Bowman as far as your fantasy lineups are concerned today. The other driver to stay away from is another playoff driver who was eliminated. Though Bowman was eliminated in the round of 12, this guy was eliminated in the round of 8. And I've been hard on him all year, and he actually did prove me wrong for most of the playoffs. I did not think Brad Keselowski would make it to the round of 8. And look at this. I mean, he finished third. He was in a shot to win late and possibly even make it to the Championship 4 for the second straight season. He could go out there and he could perform very well today. It is his last race with Penske Racing. And maybe, coming into this playoffs, why he ran as well as he did, this might be realistically his last chance to ever win a championship in NASCAR. We don't know how that team's going to perform next year or how he's going to perform with Roush Fenway next year. We expect Roush to take a step up. We expect this to be a move in the right direction. But how many more years left does Brad Keselowski have where he is virtually in his prime or, I'd say probably towards the end of his prime? How many more years is he going to have of being this kind of competitive driver in the Cup Series? So I don't think even if he was with Penske for a few more years that he wouldn't have too many more years left of really, really competitive racing. And I could be wrong, but it just, the ceiling as far as winning a bunch of races for Brad Keselowski in the future does not look good, in my opinion. His future beyond the sport of NASCAR is definitely why he went to Roush Fenway. He'll have an ownership role likely for the longevity of his life after racing on the racetrack. And I think it is a good move for the long term, but for the racing and the short term, it's going to be a lot of growing pains with him taking over that 6 car for the next couple seasons especially. But as far as today goes, I would not put Brad Keselowski in your lineup. In the last 11 starts at Phoenix, Brad Keselowski has only mustered 5 top 10 finishes. So 6 of those 11 races, last 11 races at Phoenix, he has not finished in the top 10. I don't see that being a very strong stat. Again, he is not in the Championship 4. The only bright spot is that none of the Penske cars are in the Championship 4, so you may see probably more strength out of the Penske cars as far as the non-Championship 4 drivers for that reason, that they're not putting full focus into 1 or 2 specific cars, that they're pretty much going to have all equal cars. But again, Keselowski has been the lesser of the 3, not only for most of the season, but he's been the lesser of the 3 Penske cars at Phoenix as of late as well. So Brad Keselowski, Bowman are don't haves. The only other driver I say not to put in your fantasy lineup at all today is Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch only has 3 top 10 finishes in the last 9 races at Phoenix, and he only has 3 top 10 finishes on 750 horsepower oval races in 2021. I know he just came off a 7th place finish at Martinsville last week. He exceeded my expectations, but I'm not going to say that will happen 2 weeks in a row. Another instance where it's his last race with his specific race team as well. I don't see Brad Keselowski having a solid run today. I don't think he gets a top 10. I don't think Bowman gets a top 10. I don't think Kurt Busch gets a top 10 today. I would like, with Chip Ganassi Racing going out of NASCAR, that they will get a top 10. I would probably lean on Ross Chastain likely being one of the 2 drivers getting the top 10. But we'll wait and see here. I could be wrong. I've been proven wrong before, but most of the time I'm right. And I'm going to say that, again, those 3 drivers you should stay away from. I don't expect them, at least at the end of the race, to finish in the top 10. Jen Zach, R6, welcome to the stream as well. Am I doing live commentary for today's race? No, I am not. Live commentary is done for the season. Our last race was last night for the Xfinity Series, and what a way to go out with that. No, I'll be at my grandparents watching the race today. So But thanks for everybody tuning in. Again, like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you're just tuning in. The drivers I have on the don't have list: Kurt Busch, Alex Bowman, Brad Keselowski. Those are my bold predictions for drivers who will not get top 10. Sleeper picks for who I do think will get a top 10 today. I have two of them, one of which is Aric Almirola. This is one of the predictions I had right last week. Aric Almirola only has now 4 top 10s this season and 2 top 5 finishes. All of those top 10s, he has finished 6th or better, and they all came on 750 horsepower ovals, specifically the 750 horsepower ovals that are the flatter racetracks. Richmond, Martinsville, New Hampshire, and Nashville are the 4 races he has finished in the top 10. Of course, again, Martinsville, last week he finished 6th. Had a great day. He was in the top 10 all day long. And then I think the tracks of those on the list that race similar to this one would probably be New Hampshire and Richmond. Finished 6th, and of course his only win this season came at New Hampshire back in the summer. So I think that plays into effect here. Again, kind of like Penske Racing, no Stewart-Haas cars are in the Championship 4. None of them even made it to the round of 8 either. So I think that really makes it better for Almirola that they are putting more focus into the race car, say, this week versus if Harvick was in the Championship 4, and I think Stewart-Haas would only be going all in on Harvick. So expect Aric Almirola to have another great performance to end the season on a high note. Later today, I think he gets at bare minimum a top 10. Another driver who I think gets bare minimum a top 10, somewhat surprisingly maybe, would be Christopher Bell. And this is simply because of how fast Bell has been, specifically on the 750 horsepower racetracks this season. He was with Levine Family Racing last year, so you can't really take those Phoenix stats into full effect as compared to this year. Earlier this season at Phoenix, he did finish in 7th place. That was the first 750 oval they went to. He finished 9th place at Phoenix earlier this season, but still got a top 10 finish. His other finishes have been really good as of late on the 750 ovals. He didn't run so hot last week at Martinsville, but other than that, again, 9th at Phoenix earlier this year. He was 7th at Martinsville the first trip there this season. At both Richmond races, he finished 4th and 3rd. He was 9th at Nashville and 2nd at New Hampshire. I mentioned with Almirola that the 2 short tracks that are similar to this in style of racing, Richmond, New Hampshire, Almirola was 6th and 1st. Well, an extra top 10 to show for Christopher Bell in that category. In fact, an extra top 5, 2 extra top 5s. 3rd and 4th at both Richmond races earlier this year, 2nd at New Hampshire. I think that's going to be good effect. I think Christopher Bell honestly could compete for a top 5 today, but again, at bare minimum, he gets a top 10 along with Aric Almirola. So that is that. Now we go into the must-have picks. I mentioned my pick for the champion and the race win, Kyle Larson. Therefore, I think he's one of the must-haves today. I think both him and Denny Hamlin are must-haves. Again, out of the Championship 4 drivers, you do not get stage points with them, but I think that these two will be the best running competitors, not only for the championship, but for the race win. I think the champion will be the race winner, as we've seen every year since 2014 in the Cup Series. I think that will continue as a trend again today, and I think it will be at the end of the day one of those two, and I'm going to go with Larson just because of how when it seems to be the clutch situations, he gets the win at the end of the day. I know Hamlin's been more consistent than Kyle Larson this season, but I mean, already unloading very fast in practice and on the pole in qualifying is going to help Larson a ton as well. So, therefore, I have Kyle Larson winning the championship. But I do think Denny Hamlin will have a strong day. As far as their stats, Denny Hamlin, for instance, 5 top 5s in the last 7 races at Phoenix. He does have 2 career wins at Phoenix as well. And, in fact, in the last 8 Phoenix starts, Denny Hamlin has led a combined 402 laps. So, I do think the capability, again, is there. He did lead 33 laps there earlier this season. He led a lot of laps there in the championship race last season as well. I do think Denny Hamlin will definitely be a threat, the biggest one, to Kyle Larson today. I think he has a solid top 10 day. I think he's going to finish in the top 10 every stage. I know, again, the stage points won't matter, but I think he'll definitely be up there in the running towards the end of it as long as he keeps his nose clean. Kyle Larson's stats, very, very good. 5 top 5s in the last 9 starts at Phoenix, 7 top 10s in the last 9 starts at Phoenix. He's got 4 wins in the playoffs alone, easily the hottest driver in NASCAR. Of course, 9 total this season, 3 of the last 4. I could go on and on and on for Kyle Larson. He's led the most laps this season, not only just this season, but the most laps in any season with a 36-race schedule. And he has also, I know it's not a mile and a half, he's led the most laps on mile and a halves than any other driver in NASCAR history this season. Again, the list goes on and on. Why Larson is my favorite today to win the championship. I think he's a must-have. I think, in my opinion, again, he's my pick to win. Even with no stage points going to be scored for these guys, if he wins, that's 40 points. Top 5 finish save for Denny Hamlin. That's still about 30 points. That's a good start for your fantasy lineup. So, I mean, that pretty much is it for that. As far as the non-playoff drivers you can put in your fantasy lineup, I think the most obvious one has to be Kevin Harvick. I'll have to pull up his stats this season on the 750 tracks, oval specifically, because I don't have those in my notes. But as far as his Phoenix stats go, I do have those in my notes. He is by far the best driver at Phoenix. He has an 8.8 average finish in his career, and that's with over 40 starts at this racetrack. He's got 16 straight top 10 finishes at Phoenix as well. He has the most wins of any driver in NASCAR history at Phoenix with 9 wins. Remember, they've only been racing here since the 90s. And then 15 top 5s in the last 21 races at Phoenix. He had a stretch where he won 4 races in a row here over a 2-year period as well in the early 2010s. So easily the favorite has to be. A lot of those 9 wins have come with this Kurt configuration, not so much with the start-finish line in the dogleg like it is now, but at least with the dogleg kind of cut out. There's no grass there where you can take that extra pathway to make some passes on restarts and stuff. Kevin Harvick definitely is the man to beat of the non-playoff drivers today. He's going to be hungry. He hasn't won a race at all yet this season. It's his last chance to do so. I don't know how many consecutive years it's been with him winning at least one race in a season, but it has been very, very good. I know he's won every race, has won at least one race in a season since going to Stewart-Haas Racing. So we'll see if he can keep that going today. He's been very, very consistent. The race will be on NBC today. Race will be on the main NBC network. If you have Peacock, it will also be streamed on Peacock as well. So those will be the 2 avenues for the race. I will not be doing live commentary of the race today like I did for the Xfinity race last night. Again, that was asked in the chat earlier, but I tried to mention during the live stream last night that I was not going to do it for the Cup race today, but we'll pick that back up again next year with the Busch Clash at the LA Coliseum. I plan on doing the commentary for that race to kick off next season. Then I'll be at Daytona for Speed Week, so we'll have race highlights from the grandstands for every race throughout Speed Weeks, the dual races, the truck race, the ARCA race, the Xfinity race, and much more. So, alrighty. As far as Kevin Harvick's stats this season on the 750 ovals, haven't really looked into this too much, but I think just his Phoenix stats alone tell you he's going to have a good day today. Again, as long as he keeps his nose clean. He finished 6th at Phoenix earlier this year, so that's a good start. He was 9th at Martinsville in the spring race. That's good. 24th at Richmond, not so hot. Darlington of the 750 oval, 6th. Nashville, top 5, he finished 5th. New Hampshire, he finished 6th. Darlington, top 5 in the summer race, finished 5th. He was 8th at Richmond in the fall in this playoffs. 2nd at Bristol, of course. And 12th at Martinsville last week. So, yeah, Kevin Harvick is an obvious start. Again, Phoenix, best driver in NASCAR history at Phoenix, hands down. On top of that, he's got the recent success there to pull it off. And also on top of that, although he has maybe struggled in most people's eyes, the 750 ovals have been the bright side, not only for that team, but for Stewart-Haas Racing as a whole. That's where we've seen Briscoe have good runs. That's where we've seen Almirola have his good runs and his only win this year. That's where we've seen Harvick have his best runs. Of course, his best shot at a win so far this year was Bristol earlier in the playoffs on a 750 oval. He's only got one finish outside of 12th place in the 9 races on 750 ovals. I'm going to eliminate Dirt Bristol because that was a dirt race. But of the 9 750 ovals that we've ran so far this year, that isn't Dirt Bristol. He's only finished worse than 12th once, and he's only had 3 races where he finished outside the top 8. So Kevin Harvick, obvious start for today. Start time for today's race. Their coverage starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The drop of the green flag is scheduled for 3:34. So we'll be ending the stream right at the top of the hour at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For the final few minutes of the stream, now that I've got through all my predictions for both the championship and how the race maybe will play out as well for other drivers who are not in the championship 4, ask any questions. Ask away. If you got any fantasy lineup advice, this is the last time to do it this season. I'm going to be setting my lineup for these next 8 minutes as well, so if I'm not looking directly at the camera, that would be why. But as far as the chat goes, I will keep an eye on that. So again, maybe let's just talk NASCAR. Let's just talk NASCAR these last 7-8 minutes here before we end the stream and NBC takes coverage. So definitely for the drivers that are always in the must-haves, I do always start them on my fantasy team. So obviously that's pretty much telling you that I will have Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson on my team. Now I can't actually start Larson this week, so I guess Larson won't be on my team, but definitely going to start Hamlin, definitely going to start Harvick. As far as the sleeper picks go, sometimes I take them, sometimes I don't. If I feel like there's maybe a better option that I didn't have in the must-have just because of their equipment, because usually the sleeper picks is on maybe they're either a really young driver or their equipment's not quite as great as usually the sleeper category for drivers who I think will run well or maybe exceed their equipment. Got 10 people watching right now. Definitely like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Had a great day on the channel. Last night we had over 200 people watching our live commentary for the Xfinity Series race last night. So greatly appreciate all the new subscribers that came in over the last 24 hours. And hopefully you enjoyed our first race of the day on the channel. Or the only race of the day, I guess, on the channel. The Indianapolis Road Course, the NASCAR 21 Ignition. Man, this is tough. No, never mind. I guess I can't start Blaney either. I think the only two drivers I can't start this week are Blaney and Larson. Guess that makes my decision easier for my last driver on my team. Josh T, welcome to the stream. Happy Championship Day. Yeah. Last day for 5 lug nuts. It is. Single lug nut. Next year in the Busch Clash. I would imagine the Busch Clash, they're probably not going to have live pit stops, with it being less than a half mile in length. And it's a Busch Clash anyway. It's a gimmicky race as it is, so I can see there being no live pit stops there. But yeah, as far as just pit stops in general, though, last day until the single lug, at least in the Cup Series. Again, the Xfinity and the Truck Series will still have those classic pit stops, but at least for the future with the next gen car, that will not be the case in the Cup Series. Once I get my lineup in here, I will quickly actually go through the current standings heading into this final race. All right, there we go. So my lineup is solidified. Yeah, we'll take a look at the league playoff standings. I currently lead the way with 1,874 points coming into this race today, and currently have a 47-point lead over second place, who I believe is Earl Arnold Jr., or the Plow V3 in the fantasy league. Only 4 points behind him is Inside Uranus. He was our regular season champion, and he's trying to double down, getting the playoff championship as well. Tim Irvin, he off the lead is sitting 85 points back right now, if I do my math correct. Sorry, 75 points back. So he's still in contention as well. The Patrick Shadley, another 52 points behind him. Realistically, I think only the top 6 mathematically have a shot. Probably only the top 4, if I had to imagine, could probably make that swing today. Again, it just hurts unless one of the Championship 4 drivers do not have a good day and you don't have them on your team. It's going to be tough. How Hemrick with that move last night. Yeah, definitely was. That's the most aggressive I've ever seen Daniel Hemrick in his NASCAR career. And it won him a championship. He waited for the right time to do it. typically known as a clean racer, but he was tired. I mean, that was it. You know, he was tired of finishing second. He was tired of not winning races. With a championship on the line, he got it done. Brighton Myers, welcome to the stream. How's he going to do the race? Which driver exactly? If you're talking about me, I'm not doing live commentary for the race today. We did it for the Xfinity race last night, but I planned on not doing the Cup race. The last Cup race I planned on doing this year was Talladega about a month ago. But again, welcome everybody into the chat. Cap24, Dark Crypto. Just less than 60 seconds away from ending the stream, so thanks for everybody tuning in. Just wanted to get the stream out because I couldn't actually get a video uploaded. Again, the race will be on NBC for those of you that are able to watch it, so it is on the main network. Maybe becoming more available if you don't have an antenna or anything of that nature. Maybe you have a streaming platform. It will also be on Peacock. It'll be on Peacock Premium as well today. I will say I did watch a race on Peacock earlier this year. There is no NASCAR nonstop action. You can only get that on TV for whatever reason. So that to watch more of the race, I would say that would be definitely the way to go. Lisa, welcome to the stream. Hemrick's move. I mean, it definitely wasn't clean. But you can't blame him. You cannot blame him for the championship. And the weird thing is, though, with that, like, Daniel Hemrick pulled the move off last night. I didn't see really too many people calling him out. But if that would have been, like, the Cup Series for a championship and it would have been, like, Joey Logano, or if that's Denny Hamlin today, people are going to be up in arms about it. But glad that you were saying something about Hemrick doing it. I would have liked to see him race him straight up. But it made for a classic finish, and I'd say the best championship race finish in any series, perhaps in NASCAR history. Peacock's a funny name. Yes, it is. He didn't dump him. I'm glad he didn't dump him. I even stated that when they went into overtime during the live commentary on the stream last night, was that when they were lining up for that last restart, I was like, you know, if there's bumping and banging coming to the line, I'm all for it. I just don't like when guys get dumped, you know, for the win. I like to see both cars try to finish the race and get back to the line. You know, I'm all for Rubbins racing, but I just don't like seeing guys get dumped. Retaliation's one thing, but, like, just, you know, I hated at Martinsville when, you know, Keselowski got into Elliott overrunning the car. I hated when Hamlin got ran over by Bowman. I know those were accidents. You know, they weren't intentional, but you still push the car to its limit and you turn the guy. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it came down to. Smithfield CEO, welcome to the stream. If you don't wreck the other guy, anything goes, championship race, final lap. Yeah, I mean, he didn't wreck him. He gave him literally a classic bump and run in the left rear, and then he, you know, sideswiped him coming to the line. It looked very similar to how Carl Edwards sideswiped Jimmy Johnson back in 2006 at Atlanta, only he was on the high side instead of the inside. But had the run, didn't think he was going to beat him to the line just for extra measure. He just kind of sideswiped him. He didn't wreck him. He didn't turn him. He just sideswiped him. And he didn't even, like, stay on him either. Like, he hit him, and then Cindric hit him back, which was fair. But when Cindric hit him back, it was just a little too late. Hemrick was ahead at the time and got the W. All right, that is going to end this one. I do have a little bit of a drive, not much, but to get to my grandparents' house, I will be over at their place to watch the race today. Again, like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do predictions on the day. We usually don't live stream them too much unless I'm doing the live commentary for the race, but today, with having the noon start time for our NASCAR 21 Ignition live stream today, wanted to get that in before the race. Wanted to get this in, obviously, before the race. It was the only way to do it, so we ran those back-to-back. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the race today. Comment in the comment section after the stream is over down below your picks for the championship. We also got a poll in the community tab of the channel as well, where you can place your prediction for who you think will win the championship between the final four today. I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next live stream on the channel. Another race for NASCAR 21 Ignition on our custom schedule season there. Live commentary, as always, for that one. Realistic commentary, all in the hopes of hopefully one day getting into the booth myself later on down the road. So thanks for the appreciation and support. Hopefully we go out with a bang here today. Thanks, everybody. Catch you tomorrow.